welcome everybody to this new inaugural edition of the Men's Room. And our very first guest is a brother of mine, very good friend, um, and also co-worker in the industry, Mr. Chenier, also known as the ambassador
What's
of
going on?
R&B.
Brother Starks, what's
What's
up,
going
bro?
on, brother? I wanted to invite you to the show so that our fans and your fans can get a deeper insight on how you view some of the topics that come across today's man's plate. Uh,
Okay.
and a big topic that a few of my brothers and myself were discussing is what's the difference between today's woman and the woman of old, the traditional woman. Um, what are the differences that you notice that you've came across in the dating spectrum, in the friendship spectrum, in the working community? Do you notice the difference? So I put a few questions together just to see, what your opinion is and your insight is on it.
Gotcha. Okay. Bet.
Okay. All right. Question number one. Do you think that dating is a myth in nowadays, like in today's time?
I wouldn't say it's a myth. I would say it's more structured differently than what it was back in the day. Back in the day, there was this thing called courting, where before you get to home base, you gotta do certain steps, like take the young lady out, spend some time with them. You know, sometimes you got to meet the parents so they know exactly who they're dealing with. And then eventually, if everything works out, then of course you move over to the relationship situation. Nowadays, it's more about just, I think some women just want to be seen, want money to be spent on them. For example, back in the day, a dinner and a movie would go a long
Right.
way, or maybe just
Right.
dinner. Now it's more like dinner or get your hair done, your nails done, toes done. You're doing all these things for the
A
woman, and
trip.
you're like, oh, I just met you,
Yep.
right? And then sometimes it can be a situation where if the woman has kids, now it's like you pretty much have to do all these things, take care of the kids, find a babysitter, do all these things before you can actually take the young lady out. Now, back in the day, most of these women already had that set up.
Right.
Okay, well, let me find a babysitter. Let me do A, B, C, D so I can spend
Right.
time. So it kind of go both ways. Then, of course, you have the men. We, I would say, we've getting a little soft because back in the day, you have no problem, enjoying the time with that lady. Now we get a little cheap. My thing is, I definitely want to show her a good time. Not saying I spent $1,000 on your first date, but the McDonald thing, come on now,
Yeah. We're past that
you
now.
can put cheese on it, but
Yeah.
yeah, now it's like, and even that, some women be like, that's not what I want. I want to go to Ruth Chris, spend all this money on you. I'm like, whoa, I just met you, So it kind of go away from the tradition, a little bit as far as courting a woman. You know,
So
that's how I look at it.
you and I, we are old school. They call it,
Mhm.
OGs. Now I know
Right.
this probably happened years and years ago. But brother, when was your first heartbreak, and how did you react to it?
Oh, um,
Yeah.
woo. Let me see. Actually, my first heartbreak was I was a sophomore in college, believe it or not, because I was in a
Right.
relationship, but I was green. I didn't know what I was doing, and then all of a sudden, you know, when the interest lies elsewhere, first she was interested in me. I was doing what I thought I was doing right, but then the interest lies elsewhere. And that's another thing. Sometimes we put our heart into it too
Yeah.
soon,
Right.
without actually knowing the young lady, And sometimes a female, like what's that saying? They like the grass is green on the other
Yeah.
side, and they go that route and they leave you hanging. So that would happen to me in college, my sophomore year. Actually, that's my really official first girlfriend, and also I was a virgin. So of course, it didn't go where she saw somebody else who was more interested and more appealing to her, to where she actually broke up with me. So that was like the trying to study and see the same female walking on campus. Oh, it's not a good
Did you
feeling. Not a good feeling.
did
Of
she at
course.
least give you some?
Oh yeah, yeah. She's
Oh,
my
hey,
first.
well, hey,
Oh yeah,
success.
yeah. She had my nose wide open. To where it's like I would see her on campus, and she would see the other dude. I never forget. She would see the other guy and give him a hug, and see me and give me a
Oh
pound.
man,
You know, and it dawned on me that they doing so and so and so and so. So, but when it finally came out, yeah, I was very heartbroken. I actually flunked the class, and of
oh
course,
wow,
you want to cry home to mommy, and mommy was there to console me. My father got on the phone and cussed me out. He was like, "You ain't supposed to be down there dating no girl. You're supposed to focus on your education."
right.
So, but yeah,
Pop something on
so yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
Do you feel like, okay, so like giving advice to the younger generation, do you feel like a man should depend on a woman? And if so, in what areas?
Well, there's a thing where they say where um, a man goes out in the world to fight for his family, come home, and or I should say the lion goes out and he brings food home for his family, and out there he comes home. The lion cub, the female lion cub, the female lion, I should say, licks his wounds. So my thing is, a man should better take care of himself. Now, if he got a young lady or got a girlfriend in his life or whatever, she's supposed to be his ride or die, you know, have his back. I had a girlfriend one time where, I'll tell you a quick story, and she was very established. Only thing she had problems with and issues with was the men department. She had her own house, own car, no kids, in the mid 30s. Okay, her own hair, long hair, everything. And she had a nice bank account, great job. And she was going to Costa Rica to take care of some business. And I needed to get a car. And I was at the car dealership. She was with me and she let me be the man.
Right,
Okay. And while I was negotiating, dude was acting funny, like he didn't want me to get this car for a certain price. So we're going back and forth negotiating. And from a distance, I know she kept watching. So what she did was she came up and this is what she did. She said, how much is this car? He gave her the price. She said, that's not how much it was online. And he started giving her a little run around. And then, she said, not quote, baby, we go somewhere else. And we walked off. And when we started walking, he was like, no, whoa, 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 come back. The point that I'm trying to make is she has your back. She lets you be the man when you need to be the man. That's what you need to have. A woman that will let you be the man when you need to be the man and step in when she feels. I loved it because she had my
right,
back, you
right,
know. And she was like, "We can go somewhere else," and that was it, So I said, "Okay, let me let my girl do her thing, especially when she looking fine, do her thing." And the guy was like, "Oh, come back, come back, come back," because I was gonna keep negotiating. And she was like, "Screw that, we got
right,
money,"
right,
So the point I'm trying to make is a man should only rely or depend on a female if he needs to. Don't make it a requirement to where it's like I'll date you, but I need for you to do A, B, C, D. If you're in my house living with me right now, I need to be in a position to take care of my own house. Okay, so because back in the day, the women, if you watch the TV shows back in the day, all the females did was cook and clean. The man actually went out there, worked, came home, had a nice meal, nice house, rub his back, give him some loving, everything was good. Now it's like more like, okay, well, I understand a 50-50 thing, where you pay 50, you pay half, I pay half. That's all well and good, but what happens when she leaves?
yeah. See, when I'm in a relationship and it's a live-in situation, I don't I don't even let the female pay any bills. You
Right.
know, I just let her pay her bills. and
Mhm.
I paid the house bills and so forth because yeah, if she leaves, I need to continue to do so. And then I like to have a certain amount
Mhm.
of control in my house as the man of my house.
Correct.
You know, once you
Correct.
start giving up
That's
fifty
it. That,
percent, then you got to give up 50% of that control as well.
right now, with me is when it comes to a woman, I'm at a situation where I actually had like, one of my girlfriends at a time move in. I'm big on that for some strange reason. Where she moved in, and
Aren't we all?
it's like, okay, I like let the because you're the queen. You are the queen of the castle. So I let you do what you want. You can beautify. So I came home one day, and she literally just rearranged the whole entire house. I'm like, I just looked around like, all right, because she makes it a
Right.
home. I
This is
want you
true.
to have, I want you to
This
have
is
that.
true. This
You
is
know what I'm
true.
saying? But I've also been in a situation where I was in a relationship, and this is when I was being very frivolous with my money, and she was paying, and instead of me like pocketing the money or banking it, I was spending it. I was going
Virgin.
crazy. So I realized, so wait a minute, hold up, because then when the ish hit the fan, that's when all of a sudden I would now need to rely on that because I didn't have it. So I was like, let me go back to how I was and just start making sure I take care of my home. And anybody that comes in, it'll be extra. So you got $1 million that you want to put up 500, you got $1 million, 500. That little 500, we put that to the side for your play money. But I make sure I take care of my house because, like you said, when they leave, the bills ain't gonna stop.
Not
You
gonna
see what I'm
stop.
saying? So it's like, right. So it's like focus. So it's like they come in, make sure they take care of the house. Take care of the house. And if there's a certain bill, like you want to pay the cable bill, okay, pay the cable bill. You want that extra channel, whatever. But you make sure your domain is taken care of because at the end of the day, you are the king of the
That's right.
castle.
That's right. Do you think that women just date us for finances? What more can we give them
Yes.
besides the eggplant? Is finance,
Some fem- some females actually do that. I had a friend of mine a few years back was just like that. She just met a gentleman, and within 6 months they were getting married. And I said, why are you marrying so soon? You will love him that fast. She said, I'm gonna learn to love him, but he has some excellent benefits. Come to find out, he was ex-military. So I was like, oh, so you're doing it for the benefits. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, okay. So some females, they can, I do see them doing that for financial stability, especially if they're in a tough situation. Because let's keep it real. You got a man who, see, they say, if we see a female working at McDonald's robbing Peter to pay Paul, we're not looking at where she's working. We're looking at her, and we will still pursue that young lady because we go about what's going on by the character and what's in your heart. If you are a beautiful woman and you got your mind right, but you're making a few dollars, you're not going to trip on that. But reverse it. How many females would date a man that's working at McDonald's? You see what I'm
right?
saying? Because of their money. But let them own a McDonald's or let them manage McDonald's and got a nice bank account or whatever. Oh, he got some money. I may pursue him. Because they're also looking for that financial stability. You see what I'm saying? So, and of course, what's that saying? No woman with a broke
Right,
man? There's some truth
right,
to that. And being broke don't necessarily mean you don't have no money. They may question, okay, well, I make six figures, you gotta make six figures. Some women be like, I can't date a man who makes less than
right,
me. And I'm like, oh wow, okay, that's interesting. But whether or not he could be a great man, take a great provider, but he make a few $1,000s less than you, that might not be your focus. I don't want to date him. But then again, you want to date that man that makes all that money. But then again, will he be faithful?
right.
Because if you date a man, those are jokes saying if you got a man that makes 50, 60,000, he's not going to cheat on you. He's there for you. You find you a man that makes $100,000, okay, he's looking. You find a man that makes $500,000, oh, he's cheating for real. And if you find a man that makes $1 million, you know the mistress's last name. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because I got the money, so I can date whoever I want. But the point I'm trying to make is, um, Some women will look for a man for stability, and some women just look for a man who just got the money to splurge on them. It's a difference. Stability and splurge is two different things.
What do you think differs today's woman from women of the past? Do you think it's their patience? Do you think it's their loyalty? Is it me? Is it social media?
Independence. See, back in the day, women didn't have the independence like they do now. Okay, and also back in the day, women didn't have to do certain
Right.
things. You know, there was the Dr. Umar Johnson. I watched some of his podcasts, and he makes a good point that in the 70s, men started being taken out of the home, which now required the women to either rely on public assistance or go out there and work and do what they got to do to provide for their family. So now you have that mentality with today's modern women. Women think they can do any and everything. Okay, so now they look at us as being
Right.
soft, because we're not taking care of the home. So they feel they got to do, and so we find a woman that's headstrong. There's a lot of quote unquote alpha female, which to me makes no sense because it should only be an alpha male. But some females take on that role because of what they see in a man. And it goes back to what I was saying. If they're not getting the financial stability, in other words, a woman want to be safe. If they feel they're not being safe financially and emotionally and physically, why am I with you? Because remember, she's supposed to be the queen, you know. And on a chessboard, the queen supposed to do everything, but at the same time, it's the king that has to be captured before the game is over. No matter what the
Matter what.
queen do, it ain't over until the king
That's
is
right.
captured. You know. So it's like um, based upon society, social media. With social media is that tool where people use this to, they say don't believe what you hear on social media because everybody sees something and start running with it. But it can play a role, especially when certain people that you look up to go through their personal business and they post it on Facebook. Oh, he's going through. Oh, I'm going through the same thing he's going through. Oh, she's going through. I'm going through the same thing she's going through. That. Well, screw him. Well, screw her. So society, social media, and the conditions from when men was taken out the house to where women have to actually do certain things will definitely change a woman's mind. But you still have those traditional women though who believes in you prove to me that you can be the man that I need for you to be, then I will quote unquote submit to your every
Hmm.
whim. But make no mistake about it, the moment you drop the ball, somebody got to pick it
Somebody.
up. And that's when you want to have that ride or die female to have your back because we're not perfect. We're gonna make mistakes, and it could just be something as simple as not being focused. But you rely on her to get you back on place because why? She knows you are that sole provider. But if we fall by the wayside, she got to be right there to pick, just like the female lion. If the male lion is falling, she comes in quick because she got to take care of that family.
Let me ask you something. So when you all right, so when you said you and your lady friend went to the car dealership and she allowed you
Mhm.
that space to be the man and stepped back and was submissive enough to allow you to do what you needed to do. And then when she felt like it was
Mhm.
time that she needed to step up and intervene, she did so. That sounds like
Right.
a real woman, you know? Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's one example of what a real woman would do. Do you have any other examples?
Um. mm, mm, mm. Oh yeah. Well, okay. I was in. This is a funny one. This is another girlfriend, and you actually know her. Um.
Do I? Oh God. Okay.
I got
Okay.
stories
All
for
right.
days, bro.
All right.
Um. You know, I was at a show one time I was performing, and when I'm out performing, I don't be looking around about who's eyeing me. I be doing my thing. But whenever we get down and we just chilling afterwards, just watching the shows, other performers, the first thing she say is, "Oh, that girl was looking at you, or she was
Oh,
eyeing you." I'm like, "Who?" And she be pointing out. I be like, "No, she wasn't. Yes, she was." I be like, point I'm trying to make is those are situations where
Whole time
we were
she
sitting
watching the audience instead of watching the show.
she's watching the room like a hawk. She was pointing them out to me. I'm like, so what are they doing? Oh, she wants you. I'm like, how do you know? A woman knows these things. I'm like, okay. But there was one time where this one girl, she kept asking me questions, and I felt like being bothered. And but when you're out there in public, you got to engage. That's the thing I tell a lot of people. Even though you don't want to be bothered, you talk to the people who supporting you. And she kept talking, and then she just kept saying, "Excuse me, right now he don't want me bothered, but he'll get back with you." So I looked at her like, "What you doing?" She was like, "I know you weren't going to do it, so I had
Oh
to do it
wow.
for you." I'm sitting here like, "Oh," that's what I said. I said,
She's
"Oh
running
wow,"
the
but I was
brand.
like, "That's the fan." She was like, "I said that's the fan." She was like, "No, that's not why she asked you these questions." I was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Trust me, I know why she asked you these questions." I was like, "Huh?" The point I'm trying to make is she, you know, the women will have your back and look and overlook and look at certain things that we don't see. And the reason why I bring that up because there was times where I used to run the streets, being stupid, and she knew if I would engage with her, something might have happened. But this was so long ago. That's
That
why
was then. Yeah.
I'm telling my
That
business.
was
Okay,
way back then. Right.
yeah, it was this no, this
Yeah.
is way back. This is way back. This is back in about like 2012, 2013, when everything really started kicking off. So, and I tell my story because I let people know. So whoever sees that, I let them know that it's going to happen. And if you have a woman and she's well rounded, oh, she's gonna make sure she's gonna have your front, your back, and your side on all
That's
facets of
right.
life. It's not gonna just be to save you. It's gonna make sure she keeps
That's
you in
right.
line. You know, and but make no mistake about it. If she feels once again she can't get that stability from you, she
She's
gone.
out of there.
Or,
Which which
or
leads
exactly,
me
she's outside there. Somebody
which which
gonna take
kind of leads
advantage.
me to this next question. So in a relationship, when do you know it's time to leave?
When you're not okay, when the good outweighs the bad, if you find yourself constantly
When the bad
arguing,
outweighs the good.
yeah, I'm sorry, I tell you, but the bad, I would thank you, but the bad
Yep.
outweighs the good. When you start finding out that it's not you constantly arguing, you're not seeing eye to eye. When you're going to bed at night, y'all don't want to touch each other. Some people say go to counseling. I'm like, you go to counseling. At the end of the day, if that's what you want to do. But if if you fall out of love, after you try to make it work, and I'm gonna give you another example. The girlfriend that was with the car situation. Okay, normally on Christmas, because that relationship was very short. Normally on Christmas, I would go see my son. Okay, give him presents, watch him play, spend time with his mother's family, have dinner,
You have a
come
son?
home. Oh yeah, some 30 years old. I told you I was a bad boy. I got a 30-year-old son. He just turned 30 in November. My daughter, she is
You
26.
have a daughter too?
Mm. She turned 26 in May, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, you thought I was the only child? You thought I had no kids? Man, shoot. You see his gray hairs?
Oh my God. I didn't know, bro. That's
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
up.
So his yeah, yeah. And he 30 years old going on 12. That's all I'm gonna say. I hope
My
you don't
son's
watch this, but
31
yeah.
going on 11.
All right, so
Yeah.
we're the same boat then. But here's the thing. So my girlfriend at the time, she had a big family. And apparently this was to be our first Christmas together. And I didn't know they were waiting on me to come there so they could all eat. And when I got there, she was pissed off because the whole family, I mean, everybody was waiting for me to get there, even the kids, so they can eat. And I was late because I decided to spend time my usual ritual, not knowing. So she got upset. She didn't talk to me. She literally ignored me. And then within 3 or 4 days, we ended up breaking up because she felt that I was still messing with my son's mother. And I tried to explain to her, hey, this is a ritual that we normally do. I mean, over the years. Point I'm trying to make is if a woman sees something ain't right, they get
Yeah,
out quick. See, us men, we
we
more
linger.
we more
Yeah, we
tolerable.
linger.
Right. We let stuff go for a long time before we realize that,
Yeah, we're
hey,
like, now if I
now,
see it again, it's got. Did I see that? Did that happen? Wait, I'm just gonna.
right,
If I see it again, maybe I'll leave.
right, exactly. And even then, now I will say this: if you're cheating on me,
Yeah,
that's
you
like
out.
a automatic,
Yeah,
yeah. Because I mean, there's no way you can sit there and
no,
justify that. I don't care how pissed off you were at me or not, because you cheat on me, you got
gotta
to
go.
go. You know that simple. I see a lot of things on Instagram where they show guys record a girl begging to stay. I'm like, why you want to stay? You made a mistake. What kind of mistake could that possibly be? Did you fall on it? I mean, what, did he fall on you? No, that's it. But if it's an argument that can be handled just by conversation, then yeah. Or it could be a situation where you could be dealing with a woman that has too many kids, and finally you realize, okay, that's
That's
it.
it.
I'm like, because been that situation before where a woman had too many kids, and eventually the relationship got to the point to where you couldn't do with the kids. And there's this thing called respect. If there's no respect, that's another thing. If you don't
If,
respect me and my
if
boundaries,
you're right, right. Yeah, and the thing
you
is,
got to go.
that
Got
woman's
to go.
never gonna love you more than she loves her kids. That's not gonna happen.
Oh no. Oh
Not
no.
gonna
Oh
happen.
no. And when you see that, it's like, and then on top of that, you realize you can't. You start having issues with the kids. So it's like, y'all got to go.
Whole crew out of here.
So it could be so many different. Yeah, it could be so many different reasons. But real talk. If it's to the point to where you can't deal with the situation in itself in its entirety, because like I said, you leave the dishes in the sink. That's nothing. But when you come home and you disrespect the place that it's supposed to be your peace, you
Right.
know, then it's time for you to bounce. Or I realize I can't love you like you want to be loved. You're always complaining. Then you need to go find you the person that can treat you. Because there's a saying: there's somebody for everybody, but you ain't for me, or I'm not for you. Not saying you're a bad person. We just not compatible, and that's what you find out when you go through the dating phase. You know, there's no need for you to go ahead and jump into a relationship knowing this person could be a devil worshiper. You didn't even get to know that person. So it's like you take your time to get to know the person, date the person. I think the women say they got like a 90-day rule. Don't believe in that crap. But you can still date a person and get to know their likes and dislikes, and then make that determination. Now, sometimes there's a little asterisk to that, because sometimes what they say, you bring your representative instead of who you are to fill the deal. That's just like how
Yep.
people are getting a job. They'll lie and say they can do the job just to get hired, and then get on the floor and don't know what the
Don't
hell
know
you're
what's
doing.
going on.
So, right. So you got to actually just, that's where you need to be very observant. A woman could be looking gorgeous and sell you a pipe dream until you realize she ain't worth two dead fly smash. So same thing with the man. We're the same way. A woman can say, "Oh, he look good," and realize he live with his mama. No, get to know the man. Get to know him before you make that determination. Learn, ask every
That's right.
question. Same thing. Ask every question. Even if you want to ask a question about, you got any STDs, let me see it. I mean, that's where it has it gotten now. I want to know your credit score. I want to know everything. Now you may say that's too much information, but really, is it? Because in these times, these things
That's right.
matter. You
That's right.
know, these
And if
things
you didn't ask,
matter.
you ain't gonna know.
And right. So it's like either you tell me, and if it's not good, still, because the worst thing you could do is get to that person and you find out later that it's a lie. That's nothing. Don't lie to me. I always tell a person, keep it real. You got 15 kids? See, you got 15 kids. Okay. If I want to meet them, that's up to me. Let
Right.
me meet them. Or vice versa. You got 15 baby mamas? If I want to meet them, let me meet them. But the point I'm trying to make is, um, honesty will go a long way. Honesty will go a long way. And like I said, keep it real.
Bro,
Keep it real.
is there any real women left out here? You think?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's a lot of them. But what it is it's like, what's that thing? A needle in a haystack. The best way to find needles is burn all the hay. You find a needle. It's kind of something like that where you got to go out there and and talk to people, get to know folks. And when you talk to them, it'll come out. It's because a lot of people will say things, and it's not. I listen to what you don't say, not what you say. I listen to what you don't say. You can say a whole bunch of stuff, but I'll be like, but you didn't say this, you didn't say that. And then you start questioning that. Then that's when you start getting to know the real so and so and so and so. So, but yeah, there's a lot of real women out there, but it's just that they're amongst those that are playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing the game. But oh yeah, I believe it is. I don't say that there's no more real woman out there, so I'm just gonna run the street and play the field. No,
You
there
think
is.
location?
It's just how my
You think
mother said.
location may have something to do
Huh?
with may have something to do with it? Location with relationship.
Yeah. Cause I'm originally from New York, so me, up from New York down here in North Carolina, the
Yeah.
women are different. And then I find out in Maryland, oh, the women are more aggressive to where they come to you. I was like, oh, really? Well, I need to go to Maryland for a weekend. I found that out. I was like, oh, really? And then the women in Virginia, I'm sorry, but since I've been in the South, every time I go to Virginia, I run across some beautiful women, bro. I'm like, but then the first thing I say to myself is, how's their heart? How's their head? What's really going on with them? Me and my producer, we joke about that from time to time. I was like, yeah, I saw this girl. He was like, yeah, she look good, but I bet you she got problems. And you know what? She might have, but then again, she might not. But it's like, that question, because like I said, you don't know if she's a real one or she's just out there just to get what's there, secure
That's
that
right.
bag.
That's right.
But you won't know it unless you ask the questions and probe, and watch them. Because like I said, it'll come out eventually. If they're always asking you what kind of car you, I'm like the car that gets me from point A to point B. But no, they may say, okay, so you drive a Escalade? No, I drive a Pathfinder. Oh, that's a sign right there. What do you mean? Oh, what are you driving? Oh, you're not driving. You see what I'm saying? So you can tell certain females, or vice versa. A girl be like, "What you drive?" Well, right now, my car's in the shop. That's an immediate lie, But then again, it could be true. So it's like you have to say to yourself, "Do I want to find out? If I want to get more engaged more in this person to see, or be like, you know what? Screw him, screw her. I go elsewhere."
Right.
So it's more of it's like playing cards. It's a game of chance. You never know, but you won't. But and as the words of the lottery, you got to be in it to win it. So if you see somebody that you want to pursue, get to know the person.
Wow.
If you realize that this ain't who you want to be with, or she's not your cup of tea, or he's not your cup of tea, okay. At least you make a good
That's right.
friend. At least you make a good friend no matter what. My mother always say, just have friends first. Well, what's that song? Friends before your lovers anyway? So make that person, and then it might not work out, but then again, that person may be the best friend you ever had in your life.
This is true.
You
This
never
is
know.
true, brother. Here's the show ender, and then we got to get into what you got going on as far as professionally. Here's the last question.
Okay.
Where does religion fit in relationships?
Well, for those who are actually religious, I should say, there's a saying that you have to be equally yoked. In other words, it got to the point to where you can't be a Christian dating someone who is holiness or a Episcopalian. You can't date somebody because how can y'all grow spiritually if you have different views? So are if you're an atheist, let's use that as an example, but I'm a Christian. We're not gonna be sitting down praying together. What does it say? A family that prays together
That's
stays
right.
together. So that's going to automatically be a disqualifier. Or if you tell me that you don't go to church, you say you believe, you don't believe in God, you believe in a higher power. And I'm like, what that mean? What that mean? You don't believe in God, but you believe in a higher power, or you believe in Scientology or whatever thing is called. We can't come together spiritually or nothing. So when things get hard, the first thing we're supposed to do is pray by, and with me, I'm saying for me, Pray about it, put in the Lord's hands, don't worry about it. He gonna handle it on his time. But you don't believe in that, oh, we got a problem there. We got a problem. So definitely, and that's not and it's not a bad thing to a sense to where you got to hate that person. Y'all, like I said, y'all just not equally yoked spiritually, and it's not going to work. Especially when you get married, because you're supposed to do it before God. You see what I'm saying? So you don't believe in them. So how can we get married? In the church or anything like that. So I had a situation one time. I had so many situations where this is many moons ago. And no matter what I did in the
Right.
streets, Sunday morning, I'm
Right.
sitting in church. And the night before, that Sunday morning, I had a young lady in my bed,
Come on, brother.
and
Tell it,
I'm
brother.
getting ready
Tell
for
it, brother.
church. And
Tell it.
I was getting ready for church, and she's like, "What you doing?" I said, "I gotta go to church." She's like, "Well, can't you miss it this Sunday?" I was like, "Oh hell no!" And I was like, "Oh, she gotta get
You're
out my
out of here.
apartment at the time."
She's out of here.
Bro, she wanted me. She was laying in the bed. About, can't you miss it? I was like, "What? Are you crazy?" After what we just did, I'm getting ready, but you gonna ask me, you're gonna miss it. Girl, you must pull like that. That was the last time I seen her. I was like, talk about, well, can't we miss it? Can't you miss it this one time? Hell no. That one time, maybe the last time. No. If I'm at the fool on Monday through Saturday, Sunday morning, I'm in church.
Nice.
So, but that's how I do. That's how I look at it. I'm like, no matter, you got to have that's the most important part, peace actually, because if you don't have God in your relationship, it ain't
Right.
gonna work. Now I know some people are Muslim. I don't know. I think it's what is Allah, I believe it is. So even with them, they date within their religion. And you can't knock that. I mean, that's what they believe in because they know that's how they're going to make their relationship work by having their
Your partner equally yoked.
their
Yeah.
right. You got to have that. Like I said, I have God in my life. She has God in her life. You have Allah, blah blah blah,
Right.
whatever. You want to have that because it makes
Yes,
it
sir.
better.
Yes, sir.
You know.
So
Oh yeah.
what do we got coming up from Mr. Chenier, Mr. Ambassador of R&B? We're
Oh,
waiting to
okay.
hear the
So
new
we're talking
projects.
music now. Okay, well, this year my goal is to finish pushing the album. I've been charting lately with my
I've noticed.
latest single, "Grown Folks
Yeah.
Party." Yeah, and
Doing pretty
so
good,
this
man.
year is yeah, appreciate it, man, to continue pushing the project. But actually, since you're my brother and we go back, I was gonna surprise y'all on this. I'm actually writing a 30-minute movie, okay,
Oh,
and it's gonna be about the singer songwriter who who was a womanizer who ended up getting killed in the end, but it's going to be a twist. It's going to be like a 30, not, I said, I'm sorry, not 30 minute, 60-minute movie, you know? And I'm gonna play myself, and it's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna use you for sure, so it's gonna be
okay.
interesting. You
Okay.
know, that's what I'm gonna do. And also, I want to start doing some more visuals because I got 14 songs that I got to get visuals for. So, and of course, hitting the stage. And what I want to also do is I tell a lot of artists, get out of the backyard. Meaning, yes, you may be popular here in Durham, but they barely know you over there in Long Beach, California. Get out there, push your music to the world, not just your little community, put to the world, and travel. I have no problem getting in my car, going to different other states to perform, especially when you look at your analytics and your numbers, and you find out that Chicago is streaming your music the most, then you should be engaging in Chicago, because obviously they like what you're doing. And ain't nothing but getting to the radio station out there to get your music on the radio. And next thing you know, you're
Right.
performing. You know, it's like try to do something different. Don't just stay here. You see the same people in the same club, the same artists you performing for. No, let's go out there and engage with the rest of the world. And if you can, the UK don't sound too bad. I got my passport.
That's right. That's right. Well, brother, man, you have been an excellent guest, very insightful.
Appreciate you,
Man,
brother.
it's been a great interview, man. I've learned such s- uh, unknown stuff with you tonight, man. I didn't even know a lot of this information, bro. And it's been great, man. And I'm gonna ask you to come back for another episode, or another time. topic real
Oh,
soon.
oh man, I look forward to it. It's an honor. I appreciate you,
Thank
brother.
you, brother. Welcome. Thanks for coming out to the men's room, and we'll be talking to you soon.
All right, solid. Appreciate